Microsoft just confirmed that Sony is blocking some of their games from ever coming to Xbox. Let's look into this. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fancy playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on your Xbox? Well, looks like that's not going to happen. Ever. And I'm not joking. Well, that's one of the games that apparently Sony is blocking from ever appearing on Xbox. According to Windows Central, and you will find the link in the description below to the article that talks about it. I mean, there's some other articles talking about it as well. But, basically what happened apparently is that Sony decided to block a number of games from ever appearing on Xbox. And well, this news originated from the FTC letter, or should I say Microsoft letter to FTC that they sent in response to FTC blocking Xbox Activision deal. Don't worry, I'm not going to be talking about the deal. I'll be talking about the whole exclusive thing and blocking content from some of the platforms. So in that letter, Microsoft did say that Sony is known for blocking games from ever appearing on Xbox. So it's not only about making a game a timed exclusive. Like there's plenty of timed exclusives, right? We're talking about games that may come out for a particular platform like PlayStation 5 or Xbox, and then 6 months or 12 months later you will see the same game on other platforms, right? That's a normal kind of practice in the console gaming console space. Now what Sony does with some games, not all of them of course, but some of them, like Final Fantasy VII or Silent Hill 2 remake, for example, right? These games has got they will never come to Xbox unless Sony will allow these games to come to Xbox, right? So I'm not you know what they say never, but the deal has been made in a way that without Sony's green lighting the project, a game cannot come out to Xbox, right? And there's a number of games, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Silent Hill 2 Remake are just two of them. And I bet there's more, like there's some rumors about some big, remakes here and there. I bet that these remakes have got the same kind of clause in the same thing in the contract. So how do I feel about it? Well, I've got mixed feelings about it, because on one hand, like, it's kind of sad that, some of these games, especially Silent Hill 2, is not going to come to Xbox, right? But at the same time, like, this is a normal practice, right? This is not the first time that has ever been done, right? And to be honest with you, I don't particularly care because I've got PC and these games are being blocked from Xbox, not PC. So, hey, that doesn't bother me much. But I understand that some, Xbox fans may feel a certain way about it because, Silent Hill 2 is a kind of cool game, I guess, right? That's the best of the all Silent Hill games, to be honest with you. By the way, you can still play it on Xbox, via Xbox 360 version is available via backwards compatibility. But that's not the point, right? I mean, Sony decided to block that game. And looks like they've got a lot of, seems like they are focusing mainly on Japanese developers and Japanese publishers, like Square Enix, for example. And they've got these deals with them where listen, at the end of the day, Final Fantasy VII, when you think Final Fantasy VII, you think PlayStation. When you think Silent Hill 2, you think PlayStation. It's not that these games are only on PlayStation, but they kind of originated from PlayStation. They were originally made as a PlayStation exclusives back in PlayStation 2 era, right? Now, obviously, that kind of changed. there's way more games like that. For example, Ace Combat, another PlayStation exclusive, MGS, Metal Gear Solid, right? Another game that used to be a PlayStation exclusive, now it's on everything, really, right? So what Sony is trying to do, they are trying to get these Japanese developers behind them only, if you know what I mean, right? And by the way, sounds like Xbox is trying to make some moves in the Japanese market as well, not only by selling console but also to make deals with Japanese developers, right? Like they've got that deal with Kojima. Okay, anyway, let's go back to the actual topic at hand. So basically blocking content from a platform is nothing new here, really, right? I guess the only kind of unfortunate thing about Final Fantasy VII, I guess, is the fact that, remake of that game, is that apparently that game was actually supposed to come out for Xbox at some point in the future, and looks like the deal just changed, and Sony just decided to block it completely from Xbox. But you know what? Hey, Xbox can do the same. They can block some, basically content from Sony, but they don't do it. Because, well, Activision deal is still going on, so they don't want to be looked at as this bad boy that is blocking content from other platforms, right? No, you don't want to do that. But, at the end of it, like, all these exclusive content, like, Xbox has exclusive content as well, right? And, like, I guess it's different when a platform kind of really finance a particular project and that project becomes an exclusive. So yes, that makes sense to block it. But look, with some of these publishers, it looks like they don't necessarily care about Xbox. And like when it comes to Japanese games, a lot of these Japanese games don't necessarily sell well on Xbox. And I get it that they don't really sell because there's no following there. Because some of these games are basically, sometimes they release these games on Xbox, sometimes they don't. Like, for example, a great example with Final Fantasy VII is that the prequel, so the Crisis Core, is on Xbox. I'm playing it right now on my Xbox, but the follow-up for that, so the sequel, I guess, which is really the Final Fantasy Remake, is not going to be on Xbox, right? So it's on PC, you can play on PC, no problem. So, that's why I'm not really bothered about it that much. But listen, that's the name of the game. The only annoying thing about the whole situation is that, Sony has been doing these practices for like decades now. And now when Microsoft wants to grow and they want to buy publishers and stuff, and I understand why some people may feel a certain way about it because it's big money and stuff. But when Microsoft wants to grow their own way, I guess, they are being kind of blocked. I don't even particularly care about Activision games that much anyway, because like there's just Call of Duty, Crash, some other small games here and there. Most of these games are dead anyway because Activision just is throwing all the developers at Call of Duty development and stuff. So I think that this deal is more important for Xbox, or should I really say Microsoft, mainly due to the fact that they've got Blizzard, which is really more like a PC developer, and also they've got King, so they want that foothold into the mobile market. I think that's what it's all about. And even in the correspondence between CMA and Microsoft, Microsoft keeps talking about it, that this deal is more about mobile and growing numbers there rather than just competition of the console market. That's why they had no issues with allowing Call of Duty on PlayStation, because it's not about PlayStation, it's not about console games, Activision console games. It's more about that the mobile market. So listen, I'm not really angry about it. I don't necessarily feel any particular way about Sony blocking these games. This is not the first time that happened. And yes, Sony is one of the main, the biggest companies that do that. But there's other that do that as well. Bayonetta, it used to be, you can play Bayonetta on Xbox, the first Bayonetta on Xbox and PlayStation, but Bayonetta 2 and 3 is exclusive to Nintendo. So, maybe it will come to these platforms, maybe not. We don't know, right? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Sony blocked that from ever coming to these platforms as well. So, in reality, everyone does it. The fact that Microsoft is very nice and they are not trying to block anything away from anyone right now is the main reason behind that is that they really want the FTC and European Union and CMA to allow the deal, and that's why they are playing the good guys, right? But at the end of the day, listen, they had no problem blocking Starfield and Redfall and some other, Elder Scrolls from PlayStation. I mean, it's just the name of the game, right? That's the way the console market is, right? It's nothing new really. So yeah, listen, it is what it is, right? I understand why some people are kind of, I guess the whole deal, the big deal about it is because kind of a lot of people expected Final Fantasy VII to release for Xbox. I did as well. And now we know that it's not coming, and it will not come, maybe never. And I understand why people are angry about it, but hey, just play some other games, right? Or buy PlayStation or PC, who knows, right? Anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for support. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care.